The Kelsey Creek Center redevelopment is an 11-acre site with an old Kmart that's now closed and a commercial and office space that's going to be redeveloped with an additional structure on the site and new tenants in the old Kmart site. We initially started working on the project for Costco when they were looking to redevelop the Kmart space as a new warehouse, and ultimately they decided it didn't make sense for them to develop, and so the owner decided to develop the site himself, and we actually took him on as a new client for the project. The project site is not very large, and there are a number of existing businesses on it operating, so there's a lot of need for parking space. And there's a culvert that runs right through the middle of that parking lot that needs to be replaced as part of the project. This requires basically digging it up, creating a very large hole through it, and then getting it filled in while maintaining the commercial operations on the site. There are also peat soils underlying a lot of the site, very soft, compressible, and the groundwater is about 2 to 3 feet down on the site.
On the Kelsey Creek project, the really unique challenges were we had an operating, maintaining retail facility. We were building a replacement project for a 50-year-old culvert. It was 20 feet deep, 20 feet wide, and we had to attach that to a existing head wall structure, we call it, next to Southeast 8th, which is a major artery in Bellevue. The challenges were getting that accomplished in a timely manner. With a lot of risk exposure, there were very few as-built structures for the utilities and the head wall structure. And so we had to design that shoring wall system without that and being able to move quickly in the field if there were changes.
Kleinfelder worked very closely with the design team to develop a concept for supporting the new culvert on piles that would allow us to build the foundation, then remove the old culvert within the fish working window, and then cover it with the new culvert and get the site grade restored so they could be back to having parking and support the commercial operations. We also worked to eliminate the need for over $100,000 of stormwater vaults by developing an innovative pavement solution for the project. There were some pavements on the site that were failing, basically cracking and deteriorated. Normally we'd completely replace those, dig them up, but that would have required the stormwater treatment vaults and would have been very costly. So we actually developed a system where we're going to be able to overlay those pavements and present a 20-year pavement design for the owner, and that resulted in a lot of savings for them.
The client benefits were we were able to keep the contract on schedule with 5 changes in the shoring design during construction to accommodate all of the utilities that we encountered and the head wall structure foundations that we encountered. We were also able to help them keep their contract commitments and covenant agreements with the retail owners and keep that all under contract and moving forward. In the end, by not actually changing the design elements, but just moving them around and making it work in the field, we probably saved the owner $100,000. One of the additional benefits that we brought to the project was that we were able to maintain the trust between the owner and the contractor by keeping the project fluid and moving forward on schedule.
Other value we brought the client was to provide shoring design for some of the underground structures. And one of the structures was actually located right where there are several utilities in the ground, and this was not known prior to construction. So what we did was actually direct the contractor to install piles where they could fit them between the utilities, and then we designed a bracing and legging system that would actually support the soil. So we kind of reverse engineered that, if you will. We're able to provide a design in less than a week and keep the project moving forward on time.
One of the other great benefits we had on this project was the owner and the contractor consistently wanted to see what our changes look like before we went out and implemented them. And we had the staff in the office. Jeff Stewart is a great support here in terms of providing design drawings on a quick notice. And he was able to do that consistently. 5 design changes, 4 of which were implemented, 2 in the field, 2 in the office. And he did it, and it was a big part of the success of the project.
On the Kelsey Creek Center project, we were able to use staff from several other offices to bring expertise to bear, whether it was shoring, pavement design, or cement-treated base.
It never ceases to amaze me the depth and breadth of experience and capabilities we have, especially in retaining wall design at Kleinfelder. From an extreme on the Sepulveda Boulevard project, SR 405 through LA, we're designing a permanent soil nail retaining wall 90 feet high. I don't know of any place else in the United States where there are retaining walls that high being done. Down to the Kelsey Creek project, where we have a temporary cantilevered soldier pile wall supporting 8th Avenue keeping both 8th Avenue and the head wall structure from falling into the excavation.
On the Kelsey Creek Center project, we were able to use a lot of innovative solutions and keep the project moving forward. We partnered with the developer to develop shoring designs, pavement designs, and things that were needed so that they could meet the schedule requirements of their tenants, meet the design requirements of their tenants, get the leases signed, and look forward to successful opening this fall. Clearly, we can leverage the experience at the Kelsey Creek Center to position ourselves for winning future work with other developers.